Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ABF Monthly episode of Fox Cities Core. Typically every third Tuesday of every month, we have Mark Motter from the Appleton Beer Factory here, and we talk about things that are going on at the brewery. Last week we had a little snafu. What do you say, Mark? A little snafu?
Yeah, that was totally my bad. It was too early in the month to be the third Tuesday, I felt like. And I guess I just totally spaced on it. So
it's okay because it worked out because we're here this week now.
With the guys from Dead Buddhas.
Two guests, yeah. We've got Connor and JT here from the Dead Buddhas. They were just here a couple days ago.
Yep. For a second home now.
Oh, sorry, I had you muted. No, I didn't. But yeah, so they've got an album out. It just came out not even a week ago called Sludge Americana, and we talked at length about it on Sunday. If you want to find out more about that conversation and find out more about the Dead Buddhas, go to codezeroradio.com or go to the Fox Cities Core YouTube page, and you can hear the whole hour-long conversation. But did you guys just want to quickly give the elevator pitch of your new album that just came out?
Oh, yeah. You want to go for it? You want me to go for it?
I'll let you do it.
All right, so Sludge Americana has been a project we've been working on for 2 years. It is a wonderful blend of horrible, disgusting, and pretty beautiful. The theme is definitely along the lines of the beauty of Wisconsin mixed with the industrial sludge of the area, and the sludge is definitely thick on the roads today, so stay safe out there.
Yeah, why is there a blizzard happening right now, by the way? Wasn't it 50 degrees last week?
I thought this stuff was done. I wasn't too happy again.
I was so upset.
So Sludge Americana, it's out now. You can stream it on Spotify. You guys have CDs out, and you can buy CDs actually. And then this is a good tie-in because every month, Mark and I talk about the Manic Mondays, which is the every other Monday show that the Appleton Beer Factory has been doing, and it's been a great time so far. And you guys have a show coming up.
Yes, we do. Yep. April 6th with Smoke Free Home.
And people will be able to go buy Sludge Americana if there are any copies left, right?
There should be.
Well, we got CDs, we got stickers, we got shirts. Maybe we'll have hats by then. I don't know. We've been thinking about hats too.
Yeah. People have been really saying that we need pins too, so we're working on that.
So what are you like? Have you played the Appleton Beer Factory before, or this is going to be your first time?
This will be our first time. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on something like Manic Mondays, which all of a sudden bringing in all these great local bands, giving them a stage in the Fox Cities?
It's a brilliant idea. Everyone's very happy about it.
Well, I appreciate that you guys all feel that way. I don't know if brilliant is it, but I appreciate
No, it is.
But it's, I mean, they're going fantastic. It's been really good to see how we're always worried when we start something new, and this is just, there's been a lot of community support for it right off the bat. So,
like, as an audio engineer, playing a lot of hardcore shows, the audio is always hit or miss. And so, it's about the energy sometimes. But the thing about Appleton Beer Factory is the sound is always immaculate. And, I mean, that's another reason why people are just so excited to play there, too. So
we're glad to hear that. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
You're making me blush over here. Holy God.
Just the overall aesthetics of it was really cool. I think we saw Porky's Groove Machine there a few years ago. It was so much fun.
And we're actually working on something similar, getting into late May, where we're going to do on Thursday nights. We'll do every other opposite of Stone Arch. We're going to start doing a jazz night too.
Oh, so, nice!
Yeah, so we're really trying to get into some of these other genres, and the punk and metal, the louder music has always been one we've wanted to get into.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
So you guys said Porky's Groove Machine. You guys saw there.
We love Porky's.
What is it about the Appleton Beer Factory? Because there's always cool things about the different venues.
Yeah.
What are just a few of the things that make the Appleton Beer Factory a standout venue to see a show?
Just like personally, for me, I'm a big fan of Myles music. Lots of my favorite bands come from Myles music, and what I love about Appleton Beer Factory is a lot of those bands come back outside of Myles music to play there. Like I could name The Thing, Stay Outside. Them Cooley boys was just there. They're a big favorite of mine
just
too.
Had their fourth
God, I could probably name a bunch. Yeah.
So those Cooley boys. Thank you for bringing that up. Did that show officially sold out?
Yeah.
Close enough to be an official.
When it got with when you figure comps and season ticket holders, yeah, it was a sold out show. So it was the fourth time they sold out in 4 years. They're the only band that's ever sold it out every time they come through. So
wow, that's fantastic.
And we got Eddie Danger was with them. Who, if you haven't seen Eddie Danger, take some time to check out Eddie Danger next time he's around, because that guy's fantastic.
Yeah.
So Manic Mondays, it's going off to a great start so far.
Yep. We a few weeks ago with the Independent Variable and the Crucial Moves, we just had our biggest night so far, which was sizably different than most of the other nights. And all the other nights have been really good, to be very honest. And, we really don't do Manic Mondays. We're not in it to, like, put money in the bank. It's more about getting new local artists on the stage and give them an opportunity to get into a stage that they don't always get into. So,
do you remember offhand some of, besides the Dead Buddhas and Smoke Free Home shows that are coming up?
I mean, we've had some really good ones though. With the ones coming up, we've got Loom coming up.
With Sunrise, I believe.
Yep, with Sunrise. We also have.
I've got it pulled up. Mark Elsavia and headache.
Whereas the Key is coming with. Who are they coming with? I can't think. They're W at the beginning. I know that.
Wait, which one did you say?
Where is the Key? They're coming. They're the.
Oh yeah, Where's the Key with Whiskey and the Devil?
I'm really excited about that. So show both of those look really good. And then we have Kitty Softball coming with Rocket Cat out of Milwaukee, and they are coming in guns blazing. They've already reached out to 91.1, 104.7, so they're doing a lot. They have, it seems that both of those bands have a pretty decent following down in Milwaukee, so excited to get those guys through for the first time to Appleton for both of them. So yeah,
then even looking further ahead, you've got Ditch the Hubcap and the Stink Eyes in May, and Static Unknown and Off-Brand Cereal. Of course, Off-Brand Cereal has played at the Beer Factory before.
They play there, so they have a really close tie to the brewery, actually. One of the bartenders, two of her kids are in the band, and then one of our dishwashers is the other guy in the band. And then Levi, our sound guy, is their drummer. So so that'll be a fun one, and that's with Sick Kitty Sit, and I always love Mike and Kat. Those two are fantastic. So getting them coming through. But at this point, with what we're seeing, I don't see... I would say I think we're going to be continuing the series after May and just continuing, because it's been a really good success. We want to keep it going, and I know last time a lot of the bands that people had reached out and suggested didn't actually reach out. So the big thing with this series is you have to reach out, and because we have a lot of bands that want to play this series, and if you come to me with a band or two bands as well to play with you, that's always the best case scenario, because we want to get you in there with your friends. We want to make sure you're comfortable when you're playing and get an opportunity to put on your best show in front of the fans.
So if a band reaches out and wants to play, what do they have to provide to you?
First thing they need to do is just reach out and let me know they want to be part of Manic Mondays. I'll let them know what they need to send through after that. But I'm pretty easy to work with. It's I'm not a super drop a deadline type guys when it comes to this stuff. So as long as you're communicating, we'll get you on the schedule somewhere. We're trying our best to ensure that we're not bringing through a band that's a repeat band until we get all the bands through first. So it's really is about getting as many local artists and bands through our stage, and it gives me a great opportunity to see these artists too, to see if they would fit into another show that we're doing, which is, one of the big things that I get out of it when I'm at those shows. And I'm at every one of these shows so far. If you know anything about me, there's very few minutes of music that I miss at Appleton Beer Factory. So
very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I love the fact he said that some of these bands on Manic Mondays could, possibly play again or open for some of the bigger shows in the future.
Well, one of the things, you were probably just leading into that. One of the things we're looking at doing with the opposite Mondays is starting to bring in bigger bands like national touring bands, and then utilizing some of the bands that have already played in Manic Monday to be the openers for these guys. And so it's a cool little twist we're trying to put on it. With most of these things, they start one thing and turn into a whole other thing, and so I think that'll be a cool little caveat that we can really make this a even cooler event than it already is. So,
Yeah, shout out to the Midwest music enthusiast. He said, "Keep it up, fellas. Code Zero Radio and Appleton Beer Factory bring a lot to the music scene around here, and it is much appreciated." And I'll mention that the Midwest music enthusiast just put up a new video on his page, on his YouTube page. Go check it out. Lots of good content on there.
Nice.
So thank you for the comment. Mark, I had a question for you that I haven't asked you yet.
Uh-oh.
So the building used to be the old Schreider Auto building. Is there anything in the Appleton Beer Factory that harks back to the Schreider days that people might walk past or, not know is there, but it's right out there in the open, or maybe even hidden away a little bit?
Well, one of the biggest things is when you walk right in, you see the boilerplate right on the wall. That is the original boiler that's been in that basement for years and years and years. They took the plate off of it. It's not an active boiler any longer. However, we took the plate off and kept it there. But I came in about 5.5 years ago. It was December 2020. But the work that the original partners did on this place was significant. They put almost 3 years into doing most of the building in that area and cleaning out all the stuff from Schreiber when it was there, and then just literally redoing the entire building for the most part. Just the amount of man hours is pretty significant. And the cool thing is, I don't know if we've talked about this, but a lot of people don't realize that's one of the most craft breweries you'll ever walk in your life. Like, all of the brewing equipment we have was outside of the fermenters, which there's 5 of them. Everything else was stuff that we built, and it's pretty amazing for a 20-barrel system that's gravity fed. You don't see a gravity-fed system in small breweries very often, and you also very rarely walk into, if ever, a brewery that has literally built all of its own brewing equipment for the most part. So, and I have to give that call out to Jeff Fogel and Ben Fogel, my partners, that they've really what they make wanting upgrades in that place seem very easy, because they're very. They can do pretty much all of the upgrades that we need to. We can do ourselves. So
that answers the question.
Yeah, I think I did. Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, good. Sometimes it's hard to come back.
But this question has been really getting to me. I need to know what this is all about. The K-pop thing on March 7th. What is this? What is K-pop, first of all? I have no idea.
So,
I'm old. I have no idea what that is.
So I don't know much about K-pop either. I was, this is actually one of my agents that I work with for a bunch of other bands that comes in, and he threw this out to me, and I'm like, man, I said, first off, like, we're a brewery. This is like aimed towards kids. Is this cool? He's like, do you know any parents that want to come and have a beer while their kids are raging out? I'm like,
I mean, it's called Golden K-pop Kids Party.
Yes, and so it is, and so it's gonna be. We're trying this. These are apparently, and I'm telling you, the tickets are selling really fast. So if you have kids and you think they're gonna enjoy this, we're gonna make it really cool. We're doing some fun stuff. I'm buying hundreds of glow sticks that we're going to be. I mean, we're going to really try and make this thing cool. But they come in and they do this. They do this at multiple cities all over the area, all over the Midwest. But these things have been selling out and people love them. It's a DJ come in. They do all K-pop type songs, and it's just like a kids rave for 2 hours. We're actually going to be. Putting a bunch of apple slices and caramel and juice boxes in bags so you can get them as a side. It's going to be different than what our normal event is, but I think it's going to be cool. And we're actually kind of funny. Like, this has kind of led into something else. And anyone who knows me just kind of understands that's how I work. All of a sudden so we're actually going to start looking to do kid brunches. Like one Sunday a month, where we're actually going to work with Mischief Magic, and they're going to come in and they have some groups that sing for kids and do that kind of stuff. So we're looking to do some more fun stuff like that. But it is such a cool space, and parents want to come and have a good time with their kids and be able to have a beer but yeah, I think it's gonna turn into some really cool different stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, like, the first time I heard this, I'm like, okay, I just feel like this is.
Well, is there like a suggested age limit on the K-pop party?
It's it's like, I don't think there's really, I don't know too much. I mean, there's not an age limit that they suggested, so I'm assuming that kids means anyone like, under 18. So I'm sure that, I think it seems like it's going to be more in like that 7 to like 13 range. I think feels like what seems like that's where the kids kind of get into it, but maybe I'm wrong.
That starts at 11, which is a pretty early time, and then you've got something else happening that night at the brewery, so it's kind of a double booked day. You've got the Filthy Heathens with Free Dirt. Of course, Free Dirt, love Free Dirt.
Yes, and so Filthy Heathens are kind of like a blackberry smoke feel, so really excited to have them through. This is their first time through the area. But yeah, that day, so I have this bad habit of just scheduling a lot of things in the same day. So we have 4 other private events going on that day outside of music as well. So we have 2 different, but it's going to be a very busy day. You'll see Mark there from 9 a.m. to about midnight that night. So it's going to be great.
You're going to accidentally have a bunch of kids see the dead Buddhas.
It's going to scare the shit out of them.
That's what we need to do, some K-pop grindcore.
Well, this is a good question for Connor and JT. You guys playing at the Beer Factory coming up, what are some of the questions that you normally have for whoever's booking the show for you guys when you're playing in a venue? What are your concerns?
Honestly, I think you do a really good job, so I don't think I have any concerns about this show, but I mean, there's always like the load-in questions with other venues, specific times. A lot of times you're like, hey, you start at 8, and when I actually start to like 9:30. Stuff like that, but
I feel like the main thing is just figuring out the proper etiquette, because every venue's, they got their own standards for that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that, to add to that, I guess you mentioned the time and the right start time and stuff. Do you get a lot of people, Mark, that their bands play there and they want to comp all their friends in for free?
We've had that happen once or twice, and I normally let it go the first time, but I kind of make a note to talk to the bands about it after.
A standard is like, hey, these 4 people are my merch people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and so we kind of run with a rolling thing. It's like one person per person, right? So everyone can bring in a person, and if someone's not in your group isn't using their, we kind of roll with that. We don't advertise it that way, I guess, with the musicians, but we're pretty easy going that way. In these Manic Monday shows, the bands come in knowing, every cover goes towards pay. So if you're going to let some people in, I know that you realize that's coming out of your pocket, so I'm not going to push you too hard on it. We're really about having great shows and keeping a cool environment and a cool vibe. And I haven't ever, put it this way, I've never had an issue where I have come to terms with a band on it or anything like that. It's never been that big of a... So the amount of times I have to deal with one band that brings in too many people, I have all sorts of bands that don't bring in enough people. And not to say that wrong. They have people pay for tickets, which is great. And so I try not to sweat the small stuff. That just seems like something that is just creating an issue where there doesn't need to be an issue normally. So...
Yeah, and I think that, again, the Manic Mondays, it's people walking in. You want people in there. You want people to discover these bands from the area. It's really a great way for people to discover. Like, don't go there just because you know the band. Get people in the habit of going there every other week to discover somebody new.
Well, and this is really what we're trying to do with the series, right? It's really about, now we have this dedicated day that is this kind of music. So if you like this kind of music, we can all just go follow the bands that we love, but then you never learn anything else, and you never learn who else you're going to like. And one of the biggest, I think for me, when my music, my personal music that I listened to started to really expand was when I really embraced the original music and got away from just listening to the radio all the time and just realizing how much good music there is. The amount of bands that come through that are a blink away from being way bigger than what they are is amazing. And it's, there's never a loss of talent that comes through. And even if we have 25 people at the show, that doesn't mean, we've had 25 people for Todd Schaefer, the lead singer from Railroad Earth, when he was through, right? Sometimes people just don't get they don't get the word out, or the word's not out. They just don't see it in the right place. But there's so much good music out there that it's hard for me personally to just sit there listening to something that I've already listened to, and I can go and discover something new. And that's what we kind of want with this kind of stuff. So,
and especially for Manic Mondays, a lot of, I'm thinking about like maybe my parents that aren't into the harder rock, the harder styles of music. But once you go to those shows, you kind of get it.
Well, and the cool thing is, like, my partner Ben and his dad, like, they're always there at the beginning of the show when the bands are coming in, so they get a chance to, like, but they're even like the amount of energy that these shows have had, like how excited the bands are to come in and play, really is one of the coolest things for us to see, because again, and this isn't always about for us making money, right? If we hit a break-even day on a Monday, but we can get some new artists on the stage and we're not losing any money doing it, that's a great opportunity for us. And to see the excitement with the bands and how thankful they are to get an opportunity to play on the stage really speaks volumes.
You've got another show that I think was recently announced. It's the St. Patrick's Day show.
Yeah, with Sarah Lynn Huss. Yeah, we've had Sarah Lynn there. She's been with Third Class Minstrels the last few years, but then she was also there with Roving Scallywags for the first few years we did it. So
that's, of course, St. Patrick's Day booking there, and that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a free show. We always do that one. We always, we do a few free shows every year that we try and get people in and make sure that everyone just gets to come in and have a good time. And St. Patty's Day is one of those days that you're not necessarily coming in looking for the music necessarily. You're looking for the environment, right? And so adding music to an environment, in my experience, always makes it a better experience. So
I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but before that is the show with the Chicago Farmer and the Field Notes and Myles Nielsen and the Rusted.
I cannot tell people how good this show is going to be. I don't know how many of you have seen Chicago Farmer. A lot. Like, the only time Chicago Farmer has come through with the full band in Appleton has been the times that he's played at ABF. Cody is one of my favorite singer-songwriters in the Midwest. And then how that show kind of all happened was Myles was sitting next to me for the XTC show when they came through because he wanted to check out their sound check because he was playing at Gibson. And I just looked at him and went, man, it's been a while since we had Myles Nielsen with the Rusted Hearts through. And I'm like, Cody, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what would you think about split billing that show? And then I just went right to Cody after he said yes. And I kind of circumvented all the agents, which makes it a lot easier sometimes. And but that show is going to be two just fantastic bands. That's going to be a really fun night. I know there's shows that are always on the radar every year that I'm excited for, and Cody is and Chicago Farmer. That his band is one of the most talented group of musicians I've ever seen, and then to get Myles Nielsen and the Rusted Hearts with him at the same time is going to be a real treat.
How frustrating is it to put together a show like this, and then people don't do their homework or find out about it until after, and then I'm sure you've heard it multiple times. Well, if I would have known that show was coming up, I would have for sure went to that one.
So here's what I'll say. For everyone saying if I would have known this show was coming up, we literally have all of our shows on Facebook and online all the time.
But do you go to people's houses and tell them?
No, I can't go to all the houses. It's
you can't go to all the houses.
It does make me laugh when people say that. I'm like, I don't know. We've had this in Facebook and online, and those two places, as long as you go to our event page and online, you can see any of the shows coming up. But to talk about the frustration piece of when you have a really good show, I can't use the words on the air about how that makes me feel. And it's just been crazy. We've had some amazing artists. The one I can think of that was the coolest show one of the coolest shows we probably had, and I was miserably attended. And it wasn't even that bad. It was probably 50 to 60 people, but for the level of the artistry, it was when we had Elaine Johannes through from them Cricket Belchers. And, the guy who wrote and helped produce Chris Cornell's solo album.
Just
And
like the around with the Chili Peppers. got
yeah,
together.
like Elaine Johannes is like the musician's musician. He was part of Sound City. He produced for Queens of the Stone Age and Arctic Monkeys. And I was trying to yell it at the top of my, like, putting posts out all the time, and we had 50 people there. I'll tell you, those 50 people there have never seen a better show. Like, that show was just amazing. And it was just him with a guitar, and then Tom Thiel opened up, and it was, which was one of Tom's favorite artists, so it was a great opportunity to get Tom opening up for one of his.
Tom killed it that
He
night.
did. And him and Elaine are just so sonic. Their sound is so great together, and it was great to see. But those shows, like, them Todd Schaefer I talked about with when he came through with Chris Thompson, 25 people we had for that show. Todd, like, this is the lead singer and songwriter for Railroad Earth, was in our place, and we had 25 people there. So it makes me want to throw in the towel when I see stuff like that, but I also understand that that's even more reason for me to keep going and doing what I'm doing, is to make sure more people continue to get access to this. And the great thing is, like, with some of the bands we're bringing through now, we have shows on the regular where people are traveling. Kenny Fiedler was here. We had people from Oklahoma, Nebraska, Missouri, like, traveling hours and hours to see these artists. And just to see that and hear that and get more people the opportunity to experience our space is really, really humbling, to say the least.
Yep. And we're going to be giving away some tickets. You're going to be giving away some tickets today.
Yes. Well, we've got a set of tickets I want to give away to the Code Zero radio show for March, which is the Weird Pals show, which is the Weird Al Yankovic cover band, tribute band.
Oh, no way.
Oh, dude, 5-part harmony.
Awesome.
They're all original music artists that have been through For Mile of Music, that are from Nashville. And here's what I'm asking you guys. Please come to this show. If we get this show to 150 tickets, I'm going to have those guys playing the Thursday night of Paperfest for a free show in Kimberly. So please come and get tickets to that show. I'm telling you, you are not going to feel like you're wasting your money, because I know the artists in this band. This is going to be a great show. 5-part harmony, Weird Al Yankovic, and then we got Social Sig from Milwaukee is going to be opening up as well. So
Nice.
Another really good band.
yeah, I'm really excited. And so that's going to be a great one. But the other set I want to give away is we just announced last week the Lowdown Drifters for the first time out of Fort Worth, Texas. They've never been through Wisconsin yet. We're getting them in Appleton, and we're going to have Wire and Nail out of Milwaukee with them. And if you haven't seen Wire and Nail, those guys are really good country rock.
Of course, we have Mark in every month to talk about what's going on at the Beer Factory. We've got JT and Connor in from the band The Dead Buddhas, who you can catch at
Appleton Beer Factory.
Appleton Beer Factory's Manic Mondays with Smoke Free Home. Should be a great show.
Do you guys got any shows coming up before that?
Oh, yeah. March 13th at the new Jam Space in Oshkosh. The 14th, very next day, at New Moon with a band called Melodia. It's going to be more of a stripped-down kind of acoustic show that we're doing. We kind of do both. We'll do some really heavy stuff, and then we do some really light.
What's the new Jam Space that you're talking about?
It's right next to Reptile Palace.
Is that old train station?
I don't know. I think it used to be a tattoo parlor.
Okay.
I think so.
Maybe,
yeah,
is that
it was
right?
a tattoo parlor.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple different places going in down there.
Yeah. No, it's going to be great. I mean, they've been doing it at the Jambalaya Art Space.
Okay.
And, that's going to remain an art space. Now they're just doing one venue strictly for just music, and that's going to be great for Oshkosh. I'm super stoked about it.
Yeah. Plus, they'll be able to kind of bounce back and forth between Reptile and Jam Space.
Yeah.
When bands are setting up. It'll be a very, very cool setup.
Nice.
Then after that, we're at Brewski's on the 21st of
I
March.
love Brewski's.
Brewski's is great. Then April 6th. And then we're working on stuff end of April and into May right now. And some things are going to be posted very soon. I think within the next 3 weeks. So
Well, I'm
follow our
definitely excited
Instagram.
to see you guys. I'm excited to see you guys at the brewery for sure. I haven't gotten a chance to see you guys yet. So
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and we love playing with Smoke Free Home, man.
Yeah, Smoke Free Home is a good time.
Their drummer Alex, he and I were neighbors when we were kids, so when we were like 15, 16, we used to jam in his garage and stuff. Kevin Sunlightner and I were roommates like 10 years ago too, so we've known those guys forever.
Nice.
They're great.
That's always the best when you get two groups of people together for the bands that know each other and are friends. The vibe is just amazing.
Yeah.
You've got a show with Lolo that you announced like last time you were here, and that was a huge
Tickets
show
are going really fast for that show. We're actually starting to do, we're going to start doing some VIP stuff at the brewery too. So Eric Jankowski, who, if you're familiar with him, he does photo booths at a lot of places in Appleton at like Misfits and Fox River House. He's going to come in and actually do pictures with the artists that you can get signed, and then this is the first one we're trying that, and you can either pick the LP or the CD, whichever one you want. They're different price points, and then it includes a CD or an LP, a picture with Lolo, and then a signature on it. So it's pretty cool. We're just starting to kind of do those types of things to get the artists a little bit more dollars when they come through. So,
And I hate to cut in here, but we've got a caller who's on the line.
No way.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go. Who's this?
This is Eric Sieberstadt.
Ah, Eric. Well, you've won.
How's it going, baby?
Good. It's a little choppy, but we can hear you okay. So you've won the Weird Pal tickets.
That's fantastic, man. Appreciate that.
Eric, of course, was he was here in the studio. He did a 60 minutes on my 60 minutes, my hour on the air.
Nice.
Let me get my minutes right. So we'll get. I think how this works is Mark will get you on the list, right?
Yep, I'll shoot you out an email saying you have 2 tickets, and he'll get me the information I need.
Eric, thank you so much for tuning in.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for what you're doing, Mark. Appreciate that, man.
Hey, appreciate you. Take care.
Cool. Take care.
That was nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Eric obviously has checked out a lot of stuff at the Beer Factory. Now he's going to go check out Weird Pal.
Weird Pal. I'm really excited for this show. I cannot deny. This is we do A-Town Unplugged once a year, and that's about the only cover music we ever bring in. And I'm like, well, if we're gonna make a splash with cover music, we might as well do cover of a cover, because I said there's no real other way that ABF could have done this, and I think it's gonna go really well.
Yeah.
Are they letting you pick any of the songs on the set list?
No, and I would never. I'm a big fanboy, but I'm not that big of a fanboy that I would ever ask the bands to do a specific thing. I don't know how that all works with them, but I know they have a pretty good they have a good array of songs that they've got down, and they can play for quite a bit of time. I know that.
Amish paradise.
I'm pretty sure that, but they do some of those. I also heard they do some of the good throwbacks or deeper cuts as well. So
Nice.
And then Michelle said ABF has some really high quality musicians and bands playing there.
they just announced Bourbon and Beyond, and I think it kind of hit me on just the level of some of the artists we're having through. We had 6 artists that are going to be at Bourbon and Beyond this year that were here within the last year and a half or 2 years, and that's a pretty big deal, because Bourbon and Beyond they don't bring in a lot of, like, it's not about local and regional. They're bringing people from all over the country, and for that, and it was really, really cool to see. One of the big ones that we haven't announced, I'll give you a little bit of a heads up. So I'm giving you a little bit of a heads up. We've got Uncle Lucius has been the biggest artist we've ever had through Appleton Beer Factory. We had him through last October. If you're not familiar with the name, they've got Keep the Wolves Away, that's in Yellowstone, and they're really, really big artists. Just signed a huge record deal like 2 days before they played by us, and they're coming back to Appleton Beer Factory on May 14th. So we're really excited to have them back through. I should have told you that ahead up. Sorry, I'll give you more of a heads up.
I like using the intro.
Yeah, but that's another big one that we've got coming through. I always try and give you guys we won't have that one out for ticket sales for a little bit, but keep your eyes open for that for May 14th.
It's a question for you, Mark. What's the strangest rider request that a band has made at Appleton Beer Factory?
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you the whole story around it, but I'm going to tell you who it is. It's DOG.
Interesting.
And DOG is one of my favorite bands. I used to watch them all the time when they were Blackfoot Gypsies, and when I first started at ABF, they were coming to play New Year's Day. It was 2022, and their rider came through, and it had an ounce of weed on it. So, not that it's that crazy, but I'm like, guys. Anyways, I'm not going to continue the rest of the story because we're on air. So, but they
just announced.
they put it this way: they've been back multiple times since then. So I have a good relationship with those guys, and but that was definitely the strangest request that I've seen. So,
Was the request fulfilled? Well, you don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I plead the fifth.
If you could get anybody at the band, any band at the Appleton Beer Factory.
Oh man, that's really tough. Woof. So, yeah, you got me on. I would get Tesla if I could get anyone. That was one of my favorite bands growing up. During the hair rock era, they were a rock band that I felt didn't really follow the same path as everyone else, and I've always loved their music. And yeah, and if you think I haven't reached out to them, you don't know me very well, because I definitely have, but they're way too expensive. But yeah, one of the bands I would definitely love to get through, and even if it's not at Appleton Beer Factory, I'm going to be starting to do some shows outside the brewery this year, and I would love to get them through for something. They're just someone that I've always been a big fan of. I can pretty much sing almost every song, probably front to back on that. So
Can you right now?
no, okay.
Have you ever heard their cover of Signs?
Okay.
Has there ever been a beer brewed at ABF that was so bad that the whole thing had to be dumped out?
Yes, I couldn't give you the beer name on that. It was long before I was there, but my partner Ben has talked to me about one. I think it was like an amber or something. I can't remember what happened to it, but we did have to get rid of the whole. That's very rare that we have to do that. Normally we can repurpose it into some other type of beer, which we've done before, and it's worked amazingly. But yeah, Ben's a fantastic brewer. When I first used to go to ABF, I was a little skeptical at first, but they've cleaned up, like, from a brewing process. Ben's one of the best brewers in the area. You give him a recipe and it'll come out tasting exactly like it's supposed to.
Have you named beers after artists before?
So the closest one we have is Banjo Strings, which we named. That was a beer that was created for Ice Dance. So when we started Ice Dance 4 years ago, one of the beers that we repurposed was a beer that ended up getting turned. We called it Juicy McIce Face, because it's like our Juicy McJuice Face, and it was more of a darker IPA. Really good beer that went well, but that one was kind of a mistake when we made it, and we were able to repurpose it in a good way, but we did want to create a beer that was for Ice Dance and all the Wee Jam festivals. So Banjo Strings will actually say that right on the can. It's the official beer of Ice Dance and all Wee Jam music fests. So, and it's pretty cool. It's got a Yeti on the front of it. My uncle carved a Yeti the first year we had it, and then so the Yeti just became part of the can, and yeah, it's all part of the marketing now. So, but yeah, that's the closest. We've never named one after a band, but that's closest.
Dead Buddha beer coming up.
Dead Buddhas. That could be a really cool label too.
Dead beer.
Well, yeah, because
Dead beer.
Sludge Americana, the latest album, is a good name for a sludgy, thick.
Yeah, there we go. We could talk.
Get started up.
The Beer Factory does the happy hour, but it's kind of not traditional as far as the happy hour times. Looks like the happy hour is, I'm pulling up all the wrong things here. It is 3 to 4, Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah, so we do an actual happy hour for 1 hour, 3 to 4 o'clock. We have buy one, get one on beers. You get a percentage off of our appetizers and pizzas at the time. There's a lot of people feeling pinched right now. So at a time where it was easier for us to, back away and raise prices and do all that other stuff, we decided to lower prices and open up an hour earlier for people that want to come have a beer after work. And we love seeing people in for it. We get a bunch of people that know about it and that come through, and we're hoping to see more. But once it hits 4 o'clock, it goes to our regular service. But it's a great way to come in, check out some of the beers. I'm normally there, so if you got questions about music or stuff coming up, I can always talk to you. I don't know if you know this, but I like to talk. So.
That's cool, man. I respect it. I feel like everyone's not realizing that you'd probably make more money if you just sell things for cheaper.
Well,
just for a little bit. No one wants to take my idea.
We've actually done part of our strategy for pricing has been around making sure we're raising prices in the right way at the right times, and doing it in a way that doesn't make our customers feel like they're getting pinched or scrunched. It is a time when, we're seeing a lot of stuff going on around us, and not to get into too much of that, but we're a big believer in community and taking care of those around you. And if you look at what we do, it's in everything that we do at the brewery. And this is just another one of those things that we just thought it was a great way to try and bring something back that a lot of downtown bars don't do happy hours either. Like, happy hour is kind of an older thing, and so we kind of want to try it out and see how it goes, and we'll see. Who knows? Maybe we'll continue doing it and starting it earlier. We'll see.
What's going on with the open mic night?
So we're doing. We have open mic comedy started last week Tuesday. Really great group. These guys used to go to another place in Neenah that took away their time, and for whatever reason, businesses have a lot of reasons to do what they do, and not saying anything against that business, but I was really happy when they came and talked to us. We had done some comedy stuff in the past, and we really like it. We've got a couple ideas that might be formulating out of this to even create a cooler thing that I don't think you'll have a chance to see anywhere else in the area, at least right now. So without giving too much away, I am in the midst of kind of potentially putting something together that will tie in the open mic comedy, but also potentially tie in music with it as well. So we're working on a couple different things on that, and stay tuned for more information. You know me, I like to tease stuff.
Is it hard to get people to get up and do the open mics?
So the cool thing is they come in with a group, right? So there's about 9 of them that come in. Last week was 9. They get up to like 14 or 15 of them. But then if you're someone that just wants to come in and try it out, it's a great environment. These guys are really great guys. I've seen them do open mics at other places before that I've been at, and all really good artists. Some of them you're gonna think are funny, some you're not, but that's kind of comedy. That's the way it is. And what people want to realize too, like a lot of these guys too try and do comedy on the regular, so not every time they do a joke is it going to go off perfectly, right? A lot of what they're doing is trying to try out their new stuff. So it's a great opportunity to kind of get at the front side of that and see what that creative process looks like a little bit with them. But we had a bunch of people that just happened to be there the first week, and then they stayed for the whole time. They had a really good time. So we would, there's no cost to it. Come on in on Tuesday nights. We just started it last week. It'll start at, you can put your name on at 7, and then by 7:30, we start the show. So. And
last week you said it occurred, right? Last Tuesday?
Last Tuesday was the first one. Tonight I'll be heading straight there after. It doesn't start till about 7, but I'll be heading back there for that. And yeah, like I said, if you got nothing else to do on a Tuesday, I do know we have a blizzard going on right now, which I wasn't really expecting. But if you're looking for something to do on a Tuesday night, it's a great way to come out, get some food. Our food is always great, and have a beer. And we might be moving the times and doing some different stuff. So we're only a couple weeks into it. A lot of these things just kind of grow in different directions as we go.
And I might have missed it, but is this done back in the live music part
it's
of the
done
building?
Back in the beer house. Excuse me, drinking my Stone Arch Scottish Ale, and I don't know if I can say that on the air. No, but it's back in the beer hall is where we do everything, and it's our beer hall style seating. So we have our big tables out there. So sit at a table with someone you don't like, talk to them, hang out, have a conversation. We really. that's always a great thing about that setup is you get an opportunity to interact with different people that you don't necessarily normally see. So,
Well, I think like that's another thing that this area needs is more open mics and places where people can go and practice their craft, just like bands need places to play.
well, when the biggest thing and the biggest challenge with open mics is I've just seen so many of them, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, right? And what I'm trying to look at now with these guys and what we're potentially going to be moving it to is, how can we create an environment that's encouraging people to come up and encouraging people to get here and see it and watch what's going on and not just make it, a lot of times these open mics just end up being a bunch of musicians or a bunch of comedians sitting around listening and talking to each other, which is great, right? But we also want to get fans involved in this because there's a lot of fun stuff you can see. And these events we do for nothing, so it costs you, outside of whatever you eat or drink, it costs you nothing to come check it out. And I don't know about all you, but on Tuesday nights I don't normally have too much going on. So
Again, lots of stuff going on at the Beer Factory. You can find out AppletonBeerFactory.com, the full calendar. Go there and proactively look at it so Mark doesn't have to go to your house. There's only one of Mark, and there's a lot of everybody else.
I can cover some pretty good ground though, so.
The Dead Buddhas, again, their album came out this past Friday. It's called Sludge Americana. You can see them perform at the Beer Factory in April.
And thank you guys for joining. I was really excited. I'm stoked to see you guys in April. Well, hopefully I can get to one of the shows, maybe the show at Brewski's before.
Our show's going to have something for a little bit of everybody.
Nice.
We're going to, it's got some heavy stuff. It's got some softer ones for the ladies. We got some very psychedelic jams,
I love the psychedelic jams.
Yeah.
Yeah, something for everyone.
Well, Mark, I look forward to seeing you the third Tuesday of. But we might have to change that because I think that's on St. Patrick's Day, isn't it?
You see, we almost missed it again.
I think.
So we might. Yeah, if that is it is on a Tuesday. So we'll have to switch it to the 24th then.
Okay, yeah, because nobody wants to be in here on St. Patrick's Day.
I won't be able to because we'll have a bunch of people at the brewery, so that won't work anyways.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. Stay tuned, and we'll figure that one out. Anything that we missed? Anything you want to talk about before we're off?
Keep July 5th open on your calendars, and I can't tell you why, but we're going to see the return of one of the most epic bands that hit Appleton early on in their very short but popular career so far in their so that's all I'm leaving. I
love the teases, Mark.
Yeah, and the great part is it's a Sunday night of July 4th weekend, so we'll start a 7 o'clock show. It'll be done by 9:30, and I'm telling you, these tickets are going to fly the second we announce it. They're going to go very fast.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen. You've been watching ABF Monthly on Fox Cities Core, Code Zero Radio.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you.